Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Tom Matt Show. So happy to do this kind of stuff. Love doing radio, podcasting, whatever you want to call it, video podcast, webcast. Last week, Darian Harris was here. Darian's a stud in so many different ways. It's just crazy. He's a great guy, very, very educated, works for the athletic department at Michigan State University, is assistant AD. And we talk go green, go white, of course, but a lot of football, a lot of NIL, a lot of transfer portal, a lot of, because the world of college athletics is constantly, seems like the last few years at least, in a uproar and changing. So I got to go to the source and get the people, get my brothers from other mothers in here and just knock it out of the park. So check that one out. That was Darian Harris, called Go Green, Go White. Angela Joseph's going to be back today. Awesome. Cosmic Beast. Been wanting to do an astrology show with Angela for quite a while. We're going to do one today. Cosmic Beast, just because she got me inspired by some of her posts on Facebook. I'm going to riff some stuff to her, throw some stuff to her. But she wrote a very nice blog called A Cosmic Beast. And the relevancy of, like, she wrote that piece for this week, everybody. But this kind of stuff, as Angela will explain to us, and believe me, I am a know nothing when it comes to astrology. That's why I'm glad that Angela's here to explain why it's important to understand, at least have an understanding and have a conversation about it. Angela Joseph is an intuitive wellness and lifestyle coach. Again, as I said, she's been on this program 20 times. She's a very, very, very good friend. I mean, we love each other tremendously. She's got just everything's great about her. She's a phenomenal body worker. She's been in an alternative wellness path for a long, long time, according to this bio, which is dated 15 years, more like probably 20. Mm-hmm. She's done everything. Integrative nutritional health coach, practiced many master level practitioners such as Dr. Andrew Weil. You know who that is? Deepak Chopra. You know who that is? Mark Hyman. Yeah, these guys, what do they know? Well, let me tell you, they know a lot. So just hold it there. Okay. Angela Joseph is Queen Bee. I could go through some of her previous episodes that I have on her bio here, but I like to do this intro because I have it highlighted here in the bio. So bear with me for just a second. Okay. I feel deeply that I have been led on this path. This is a quote from Angela's bio. Okay. This is coming from Angela Joseph, quote marks everything. I feel deeply that I've been led on this path, and I feel so grateful to share and inspire others to find this truth within themselves, to create their absolute greatest life. I found my purpose and passion. Good for you, girl. I continue to manifest an amazing life by my design. Enough said. We're going to turn this one loose. The Cosmic Beast for her 20th visit to the Tom Matt Show. My sister from another mister. She'd be my little sister, but that's all right. That's all right. I like little sisters. And AJ Joseph, welcome back. How are you, dear?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thank you for having me again, Tom. And you're always so flattering.
Oh, my pleasure. No, it's truth. I mean, it's all good. And so, you know how this goes. It's only your 20th visit. So, you could interview me if you wanted to, but we're going to do it this way. This is your life. Catch everybody up on you. What's been happening? How's your doggy? How's your life? How's everything happening? Your mom? Go for it.
Life is really good for me, moving fast. And I would be shocked if most people listening right now couldn't agree that we are literally feeling almost like an acceleration of time and things just kind of moving faster. So flowing with it all, my health is the best it's been in years and really stepping up into some great new routines and rhythms. Woodward, who is my beloved 100-pound English Labrador, is phenomenal. He is just amazing. Work is fantastic. Home life is good. And just continuing to move forward with gratitude and grace and optimism for what's to come.
There you go. So when you're talking about your personal body work that you're doing, changes, tweaking, what are you doing that's different that you'd like to share with people? Because you know what? That's the whole thing about training and personal training and coaching. It's like, we got to keep it fresh. We got to try new things. What are you doing that's different for you?
Well, I've had to really it's been really humbling for me over the last few years that I love to run and my body no longer loves it as much as my mind does. And so I've really been shaking up diet, shaking up workouts to be able to continue to feel like I'm in my best body, to feel like I'm sticking with that cardio. And so I'm doing a lot of like calisthenic workouts, yoga. My sauna is becoming my close friend again. And at my age, a lot of women are dealing with hormonal issues. And so just really navigating all of that. And it's been really good. It's been really, really good. I'm really grateful.
I'm really happy to hear you say that as your surrogate trainer. I'm happy to hear that you made the decision to listen to your body and not live in the
Absolutely.
25-year-old brain that's inside your head,
Yeah.
because that'll always be there. It doesn't matter. And that's what I try to tell people. I try to tell myself overuse injuries. I did a post on this recently, a dad talk.
Yeah.
Overuse injuries are the scourge. And so what started happening, because you're such an avid runner,
Hmm.
running is very challenging for the human body, and you're not a heavy person whatsoever. I mean, you've always been in great shape. If the heavier you get, take it from a guy like me who's a thicker guy, running is not like my thing anymore. I'm more into the biking, and you know what I really like now, Angela, I might have told you this before. Last couple of years has been the rower. The
Oh,
rower.
I just bought a concept too. I love it.
Did you? Oh, I'm going to
Yeah.
get one of those because those things are the best. I use it today. And the concept too is no plug there, but plug, plug. The,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you too. You said you have a sauna. I mean, I'm feeling a little bit envious here. You've got your concept two, which I want. You
Hmm.
got your sauna, which I'm working on Sandy for that one. I don't know if it'll be here at Little House Lansing or at the house in Wisconsin, but do you have like an electric sauna that you have somewhere in
It's
your
an
house?
infrared. It's an
Infrared.
infrared, and yeah, it's wonderful.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing, and it's the real difference. And I can't recommend enough, especially women with hormonal issues, that feel as though there's this promise of some magic pill that's going to shift their body. You really just have to understand what the body's doing in menopause. Its desire to hold on to water, its desire to, just the estrogen belt, as most women will know if I'm speaking to it. And the infrared sauna, one of the things I love about it, and I have a good sauna, which they've been wonderful to me. Plug for them as well. They've been phenomenal. Um,
The brand?
yes, it is.
What?
And
No, no. What is it called again?
good sauna.
Good sauna. Okay, thank you for
Yep.
that.
And I'll tell you, the infrared sauna versus the heated sauna, just like the stone heat, is that it's heating from the inside out versus the outside in. So when you go and sit in the sauna at the Mac, which I adore, it's a beautiful facility. It's lovely. You get in there, you sweat, you're getting toxins out. But when you have an infrared, you're literally heating up from the inside, right? So you're really detoxing liver, kidney, right? All those detox pathways, lymphatic. And so I will use a rebounder as well before I do it intentionally, just to get everything going, and then I'll get in there. And I consider that a nice workout for my body. I'm working out very differently now, right? It's not so much just about how my physique looks, although that's very important to me. I'm not going to lie. It's more about how I feel. And as I'm aging, I want to make sure that my detox pathways are clear and that I'm giving my body everything that it deserves to keep everything flowing.
We'll come back. When we come back, I want to touch on something that Angela just talked about, but I'm going to take this through to break. Angela Joseph's our guest today, everybody, calling this one a cosmic beast. We are going to talk a lot about all of the astrological impacts that we have going on and what Angela has to share with us on this. But what you just said, and I'm going to revisit this here when we come back out of break, everybody, is presence. You want to show up, you want to look good, you want to feel good. That's part of the reason. The aesthetics are important, very, very.
Absolutely.
And we'll leave it there for now because I got to go to break. Again, Cosmic Beast with Angela Joseph, her 20th visit to the Tom Matt Show. This is the Tom Matt Show. Beautiful. Yeah, you got to have that confidence when you show up. Everybody, I'm talking to the camera now. It's like presence is hugely important, and it's not a superficial thing whatsoever. You carry yourself
No.
with pride. You keep your shoulders back. You're not all closed off. You're open
Hmm.
to people, and you walk in, and it's like you have presence. I'm going there right now. After I do this read, here we go. Second segment of the Tom Matt Show is sponsored by. You guys know who that sponsors the second segment. If you don't, well, welcome to the show. If you're new to the show, Ameriprise Financial, Craig Styles, our Ameriprise Financial advisor, hopefully yours as well, can help you plan for the life you want today and well into the future. Craig has all of our retirement zone savings. If you don't know what the retirement zone is, everybody, let me explain it to you real quick here because it kind of fits with the Ameriprise Financial thing. Retirement is the kind of polar opposite of retirement. Retirement is about shifting gears. Retirement is about downshifting. So it's similar, except we're going in a more positive direction in that. And I'm not criticizing anybody when it comes to your decision to retire or refire. I just want to make that clear. Okay. But when you have a sponsor like a Craig Styles, who's helping us with our financial fitness, as he is the financial fitness guru on the radio program, life can be brilliant. And then you can continue to do what you want to do and move forward. That's what matters. Getting better all the time, every day, little bit, little bit, little bit, little bit. Call Craig. Want to get a little bit better with your finances? Call Craig. 1-800-528-1355. Local number 517-483-4893. Craig.styles at ampf.com. Offices are located at 2651 Coolidge Road, Suite 103, East Lansing, Michigan 48823. Stations that have carried us in the past still carry us now. Some other stations that may pick us up in the future. We're on the Michigan Talk Network, the flagship being WJM 1240 AM in Lansing, thanks to Steve and Ivy Gruber. You know who Steve Gruber is? Steve Gruber's a star, but Ivy Gruber's the brains. And it's like, and that's the thing. When you have a good team like they do, the Michigan Talk Network's just happening. WGHN 92.1 FM in Grand Haven carried us on the Lakeshore, first ever in broadcast radio for years. WJRW 1340 AM in Grand Rapids carried us for years. WKLQ 1490 Muskegon Whitehall. WYPV FM 94.5 Mackinac City, part of the Michigan Talk Network. And of course, the big one, AM 870 News Talk, WKAR at Michigan State University in East Lansing. Simulcast on 102.3 FM for Sundays at 5. Love it. Thank you again to Craig Styles for creating Decideri Analytics, where we are making light of weighted decisions. He did a really cool thing this past spring where he allowed a senior student, a friend of mine from Michigan State University, to use Decideri Analytics as her senior cognate, Anya Gerstenberg, and she four-pointed it because this is where we are making light of weighted decisions. That analytics, Decideri Analytics, is what pushes everyone over the top when it comes to your finances. And again, thank you to Stephen Ivy Gruber for doing what they do and carrying us on the syndication on the Michigan Talk Network. Okay, back to Angela Joseph. Left a previous thread from the previous segment talking about presence, because we were talking about, looking good, working out, talking about Angela's workouts. Angela, just talk real quickly about showing up with presence, with your shoulders back, instead of being all closed off, and how opening up your heart really makes a difference. All of these things, your posture, your mood, all of these things. Can you talk about that for a second, please?
Well, I definitely, it's really interesting. I love this. I just had a conversation the other day with somebody about confidence. And, when you think about people that impact you or that you may look to, if you can allow yourself to just take a moment to backtrack, you'll always note that they're very sure of themselves. They're very confident. They're very clear in the way they articulate, right? And so I think that when you're talking about embodying presence and embodying confidence, It's walking in and knowing who you are and allowing the essence of who you are to speak for you. And I think it's a very energetic part of a conversation that's happening that many people may not be aware of. I think we're starting to hear more about this word energy and the way that energy is communicating and the way that we share energy. But I think that walking in and feeling good about yourself, feeling strong, feeling the blood flowing through your veins, you know, feeling your brain popping is like, I'm here, I'm present, I'm ready to share, I'm ready to connect, I'm ready to respond, I'm ready to act, right? There's no space of reaction or being in defensiveness. It's, I'm here, this is who I am, and I'm coming with grace and I'm coming with confidence.
There's the thing. And when you have that gratitude and constantly the grateful heart, you're going to have confidence because you know that it's not all you, it's everyone else that's added to you, which then makes paying it forward. So to me, anyways, makes paying it forward so simple. You know, Angela, when I help and I coach people one-on-one, I don't charge some people for this kind of work. And the one thing I do say though is for payment, what I want them to consider and
Mhm.
do is to make sure that someday you pay it forward. You
Mm.
remember what I did to help you because I remember people helping me. And so that's the whole thing about paying it forward. And that's, if we can continue to just throw those seeds out there and get people to do this, leads us into our topic today, our cosmic beast on the astrology thing. You had a post today, and you know, this will be a month from now when we air this episode. Today is the day of electric energy in the cosmos. Now we're starting the kind of thread of the cosmic beast and the astrology, everybody. This is where we're going to go for the rest of the show here. Be smart. This is a quote from Angela from her Facebook page. Be smart and strong, stanced. Major mental downloads can happen too. Have a journal ready. Boom, love it. This energy is present for a few days. Okay, so that just sets us up for right this moment right now. Got me thinking about, hey, let's talk about this. So set this up, Angela. We got a minute and a half to go before we go to break, and the rest of the show is going to be focused on this. We've talked about doing this several times. Now we do it. What do you think? Set it up, please.
Well, I will set up just reacting to responding to what you said about the text today. And astrology is an amazing tool. It is the original science when you look back through such Greek theology, Egyptian theology, Vedic astrology, which I'm incredibly intrigued by and practice a lot of the health practices that they always put forth. Therefore, I really started getting interested. And what I was speaking to today was one of the planets, which is Mars, and Mars is conjoining, which means connecting with Jupiter in the sky today. And Jupiter is like this grandpa Santa Claus happy energy. Mars is aggression, war, right? Like our initiative, our drive. And we also have Mercury that's retrograde right now, which is our thoughts, the way that we communicate. And so today is a really electric energy. That was really what that was about. And at times when these planets are making transits through the sky, it is impacting the earthly realm, as above, so below. You know, we hear those things. And I can tell you, I'm about 5 years deep into this, and I have never felt so seen, validated, or just safe in the experiences of what I am dealing with in my own world, and what I am using now with clients when I am doing the coaching or body work. It's vast. It's vast. My teacher, who is 65 and been studying for 25 years, said, you better start a savings account because I'm 65 and I'm still taking courses. It's layers. So it's been really amazing. And I'll be speaking to it more and more.
Good. You know what? You got this timing thing down. I have to give you the little signal telling you that we're coming up on break here. Let me reset this thing. We're going to go to break. As I said, Angela Joseph, AJ's here, 20th visit, a cosmic beast. The rest of today's episode is devoted to astrology, the amazing tool, as Angela calls it, of astrology, because I really am a know nothing. I know that I'm a Gemini. That's about it. And we can get her feedback on that and all the good
Ooh,
things.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're listening to the Tom Mad Show.
Hmm.
Here we go. We're rolling. We got to have dinner soon, too.
I would love that.
Here we go. Fun, fun, fun. third segment of the Tom Matt Show is sponsored. I am so grateful to have a sponsor for the third segment because we didn't have one for a long time. White Law, Jamie White, Christine White. White Law, where justice meets compassion. They're such great people. All of our sponsors are awesome people. Our guests are awesome people. We don't put anything that's just slacking on this radio program. I'm sorry, but that's just it. We've been doing this. We're going to start our 14th season here in a couple of months, and it's kind of surreal in a way, but it's through people like a Jamie White, Craig Stiles, Brock Fletcher, Angela Joseph. Unbelievable. White Law is where justice meets compassion. As I said, White Law is our advocate in times of need. They are here to listen, to support, to fight for what you deserve for a very, very fair price. They will show up. They win cases. Jamie is the man. He is the master. Contact White Law today for your free consultation. Did I say free? I think I said free. Visit whitelawpllc.com, whitelawpllc.com, or call 517-777-9785. If you've got an issue and you're wondering and you got my number and you want me to get a hold of Jamie for you, contact me. I did it recently for a friend. Jamie got right back to me. He's a super busy guy. There's just everything's happening in this world, but that's why you need to have connections. You need to have relationships. You need to have friendships, and you need to have people you trust, because that's the bottom line. People call and I just say, well, yeah, I know exactly who to go to. There's no screwing around. Not at all. All right. So remember, White Law PLLC. Thank you, Jamie, Christine, for sponsoring us and the Mad Dog Minutes that we have up 3 times a week. Again, the phone number is 517-777-9785. And of course, you can reach all of our sponsors and some of our friends. The homepage of our webpage, TomMattShow.com, bottom of the homepage is where all of those banners are, and they work. So please check them out. By you supporting our sponsors, it helps us. Please mention you heard it on the Tom Matt Show. Okay, back to my guest today, Angela Joseph, AJ, my sister from another mister, a cosmic beast, conjoining. You're seen, you're validated, you're safe. Astrology, the amazing tool. Let's talk about it. Where did this start? How does it work? What do you know about Geminis? Because I'm a Gemini. That's about all I know. It's just like I know it's the twin, and that's about it. My mom, Angela, I don't think I ever told you this, but my mom, God rest her soul, she was really a horoscope person. I mean, she really was into her, not so much the astrology, but she was into her horoscope every day. And I don't know, and educate us, please. Go right ahead.
Well, I mean, Tom, I wish I could in even an hour, even 6 hours. I started it. I've been into astrology since I was probably 17, 18, but never really started deep diving. And I'm the type of person, when I take on a study, I tend to really just dive in. And right around the pandemic, the beginning, I had really been getting into it, and I made the decision that I was going to start really going into it deeper. It was a really great time for me. And I started really studying the Hellenistic approach, which is one of the older styles that was used by the Babylonians and the Egyptians, which then shifted, and the Hellenistic and the Vedic Indian astrology kind of separated and became their own systems. You can go really deep on this. So what I'll say is that right now, in today's culture, like, the horoscope energy is very much modern Western, right? Which we talk about these things, and I will always be one that I'm grateful I'm an American. I'm grateful I'm from the West, but they tend to dumb down a lot of things, if we may say. So, especially in regards to, self-care, self-help, self-awareness, know thyself. So, saying that, right, I really chose to go down this path of Hellenistic, and it's been amazing. And there are 12 signs. There are 12 planets that we use, two luminaries, the sun and the moon. And actually, I would tell you, I'd love to pull your chart, because the sun, that we tend to take our sun sign and read off of, in Hellenistic and the more traditional old style, the sun really has a lot to do with the way that you use yourself to make money. So your career, right? Your reputation, where your ascendant, which is where the planets were, where the equator was, right? When you were birthed, right? That line, right where the equator was, is your body, right, came out of your mother's womb and you became your own independent human now breathing oxygen. That is your imprint, and your horoscope, your natal chart, is actually what I like to consider. It's like it got baked into your being right when the moment you were birthed, you got this baked in imprint. And then our world tends to kind of imprint off of that. You can do a solar return every year. It goes really deep, really, really deep. And then the planets also signify certain areas of our life. So, you being a Gemini sun, it makes sense that you would have a career in talking and helping people, because Gemini is the twins. They're very talkative, they're very high energy. It's ruled by Mercury, which is all about communication, it's all about download, it's all about information. Um, it's phenomenal stuff. Like, I am a Virgo sun, which Virgo is all about health, right? Ruled by Mercury as well. Mercury actually rules Gemini and Virgo. So I talk and I share and I help heal people's lives. Virgo, again, very much the healer. And so you can just go really, really far into these things. And I'll even throw a little piece out that we could talk about more, like right now in the sky. You get into transits and cycles of every planet, because every planet is orbiting the sun, right? So there's cycles in the air. And a lot of people don't know the depth of astrology, but we're in a cycle right now where Saturn is in the sign of Pisces, which has to do, and we look at health form, because astrology will also speak to people's health. And so a lot of people over the last year or so have had issues with feet, or issues that have come up, and it actually is signified by Saturn and Pisces. So you can just really go really far on these. And so I'm a Libra rising, which is very much about peace, balance, duality. So I'm always like, I tend to see both sides of everything, right? And then it's amazing. My moon is in Capricorn. I'm very stoic. It's just a neat tool.
When we look at these things, I'm writing down these words as transits and cycles, and it makes sense with the horoscope being like and no offense to anybody out there, please don't get offended if I get your nose out of joint or something, but saying that horoscopes are dumbed down, you get them out of the newspaper or get them online now.
Yeah,
But it makes sense. I mean, you got to kind of make it homogenized for,
exactly.
right? I mean, that's the thing with all of this. So that's why people need to hire you to kind of run the chart and see when you were born. Now, I had someone ask me, what time was I born? And I tried to find out. It's not on my birth certificate. And it's like, do you need to know that exact time? Or can I give you like a roundabout, like, I know it was early morning, but I don't.
Okay. So that would help me. And there's a technique that we call rectifying a chart, which can take some time, but we can really go and, like, especially because I know you, I may be able to kind of sit and look and see, like, going every 10 minutes or so, because your rising sign, it actually changes every 15 minutes or so. So it's a very interesting technique. I would want your specific date. If I were going to actually pull up your exact chart, this is really cool what this is doing too, if you see that. Um, yeah, it's amazing, Tom. I think knowing you, I would be able to rectify. So I'll have to play with that. You'll have to give me that information.
Well, I will do that. And let me carry this through because we're going to come up on it. It's usual. You heard Angela and I, when we start talking, we absolutely, let me tell you guys, we don't plan diddly crap. I've said this before. I mean, I know even Sandy asked me today, we're on going over the market today for a second. She says, what are you and Angela talking about today? I have no idea. I know it's going to be something, I think, a lot astrological, and it is. But other than that, I mean, we're just riffing and having fun and doing the thing here, everybody. So again, to reset this thing, AJ's here, Angela Joseph, 20th visit, a cosmic beast, devoting bulk of the show today to astrology, the amazing tool of astrology, and we're going to continue to deep dive this thing. You're listening to Tom That Show. I don't know where that light came in. Is that your
That was
window?
weird.
Whoa, that wasn't your window or anything?
I don't
That was
think
crazy.
so.
I was like, holy shit, she's gonna have to like close her window there, but now you're back. It's like, whoa.
Well, and there's another interesting thing we could chat about when we come in. So Mercury's retrograde right now, which has everything to do with technology,
All
and
right.
it is just wild.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me do the read here. I'm gonna talk about that for a second. Okay. Here we go. The fourth segment of the Tom Ash Show is sponsored by Brock Fletcher, Mike Deadman, Mikey. How are you, brother? Mike likes me to say his name. Mike was our buyer's agent for Little House Lansing. Brock is the kingpin. He's the knowledge seeker. Call him 517-303-3262, 517-303-3262. Brock, as most of you know who have listened to the show, and I've done this semi-read, semi-love fest for Brock, and all of our sponsors, but he helped us, he advised us on the right timing to peel Big House Holt. That was a big deal for us. And real estate is a big deal. Law is a big deal. And finances are a big deal. That's why we have these three kingpins as our sponsors, because their topics are so relevant to having a great life. You need to have these knowledge people with you. Okay, phone numbers. Local number, office, 517-853-6408, 853-6408. Website is kwsellingteam.com, kwsellingteam.com. Sell your home without hassles, like we did. Learn how to trust realtors, like we did, because you know what? How often do you need a realtor in your life? Few times, maybe. You want to go with people you can trust. It's like, how do you find people you can trust? You call your neighbor. Well, that's what my neighbor Mike did when he sold his house next door, and he told me what he was going to try and get for it. And I said, you know what, Mikey, I think you might be a little off there. And I said, you should call my friend Brock. And he did. And when he called Brock, next thing I knew, and I did not try to pressure him at all to use Brock as his agent, none whatsoever. Brock's not like that, not at all. Next thing I knew, there's a KW Selling Team sign in his front yard. A week later, house was sold to a friend of mine, actually, which I didn't even know that was happening. Talk about occurrences in the universe. But he got him $20,000 more than he thought. And when he mentioned it to me, I was like, I knew it. I knew something was off here. All right. So please go see Brock, call Brock, use that phone number, 517-303-3262. Again, kwsellingteam.com, tommattshow.com is our website. And at the bottom of the homepage, all of our sponsors and friends, a lot of them are there, but for sure the sponsors are there. You can click right on through, baby. Click right on through, and away you go. Okay. Where am I going here? We're going with astrology, the amazing tool of astrology. Transits and cycles and horoscopes are kind of the balanced out thing. And there was something else I was going to bring up, and I slipped my mind at the moment, but that's okay. It'll come back to me. Cosmic Beast is what we're calling this one with Angela Joseph. I get so caught up in thinking about these concepts and things that we're doing on the show. It's like, I really want to think about this. I like listening to my guests. Angela, let's continue the thread with all of this, because you've said conjoining. We talked about your health, talked about presence. But let's talk deep diving on the astrology front, and what I was thinking about, whatever I was thinking about, it'll come back to me and I'll jump in. Okay, so go right ahead. Continue the thought. What do people need to know when it comes? Because like you said, we could talk about this for 6 hours. So
Yeah.
we're giving you the high altitude, everybody. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about on the video, everybody. Sorry to digress. You know, Tom digresses. On the video in the previous segment, the most woo-woo thing was happening with the camera. Okay. So I know the radio people are going, what are you talking about? This is radio. But we have video, and we're on YouTube, and we're on all over the place. Angela's camera was like, she's talking this woo-woo astrology, and I'm no disrespect whatsoever. Her image is like, I don't even know what the heck you'd call it, like a spirit, right? The spirit lady's talking.
Like a
So
vapor.
the The vapor lady's talking. So, okay, go ahead. At least I remember what the hell I was going to talk about here, because it's like, okay, now you guys who are on radio, now you got to go look at the video. Please do subscribe to our channel. Everybody's, it's starting to get bigger and bigger. Okay, continue the conversation. Now, you know how I digress, but astrology, high altitude. What would you like people to know with your coaching, with just in general? Go for it.
I mean, as far as like taking this off of me right now, like it's the video is doing this again right now. And I was saying Mercury is retrograde right now and it's squaring Uranus. And both of those planets have to do with technology and the way that like technology works for us. And so a retrograde means that it appears as though it's going backwards, but it's actually just a bit slower, right? The planet is actually just a little bit slower. So it's just really ironic that that would happen. I love how the universe shows up for us that way. Um,
Always.
I mean, I'll even go further. We could do a whole show on the asteroid belt and that the devil's in the details, people say. And basically, a lot of ancient philosophers think that it was a planet that actually blew up in the universe and it's caught in a gravity belt between Jupiter and Mars, right? And that the two planets actually hold these together. And I think at this point, I want to say there's over 54,000 asteroids named. And like my grandma Nina is right on my sun. Nina, the name Nina, the asteroid sits right on my sun. I mean, you can't make these things up, right? Woodward is in my second house of values, so the things that I love and cherish. It's absolutely wild. So okay, and then so then moving forward from that, I was thinking about when this would be airing, and I thought it would be nice to just share a little. So part of a really good astrologer is somebody who's looking out at the cycles and how these are going to present and what's happening. And without getting into any jargon on political, because I'm really not a political human. I really am what you would call apolitical. And so I don't get attached to either side. So I can speak of these things really well, which I think is a real gift for me too. Um, I see it as quite a clown show most of the time that people keep buying the tickets to. So, anyhow, saying that, we're really coming into these really intense times in the United States because of what we're going through. We all know what that is. I don't need to speak to that really. But I can tell you right now that all of the ancient traditional astrologers are discussing that there may not even be an election. We are in times right now where it is very possible that whether it's a contention, whether it is unfortunately some chaos in the world, whether that's a natural disaster, whether that's another country at war. We know there are reasons at times the United States may not actually hold the election or that the inauguration may not take place. And that is something that's being spoken about. My teacher actually did project that Donald Trump would possibly be assassinated. And she had thought it would be on the full moon at that month. She was 2 days off. She also predicted that Joe Biden would step down on the full moon, and in fact, he did. She also predicted who Kamala Harris's vice president ticket would be. She's phenomenal. And so, we're coming into times right now where I think astrology is getting a lot of big wins. And I think as we look at the way that the systems in this world are falling apart right now, and if you don't see that in this world today, I'm sorry to say that a lot of them are, right? Which the hope is that as they fall down, they're rebuilt better, right? I mean, you have to let things kind of fall to be rebuilt. And our world's been really in a space of chaos over the last few years with many different things. So I would tell you through the end of the year this year, we're going to see massive, massive chaotic energy in our world. And unfortunately, yeah, we may not even have an election as though we think it is. And that's all from astrology.
Well, just it's one of those things. Angela Joseph's our guest today, everybody. Cosmic beast. We're talking astrology, and you just never know. I mean, you just never know. And here's the thing: control what you can control in your own minds, everybody,
Absolutely.
and that's it. Just
Yeah,
control what you can control. If you incessantly worry about these things that we cannot control,
exactly.
going to be stressed out.
Yep.
You're not going to feel good. You're not going to sleep well. Your workouts are going to suck if you work out. If you don't work out, even worse. I mean, then things start piling up and you go, well, see that there you go. The negative energy starts to just build and build. And what we got to do is break out of that, Angela.
You should read the post I put today on my Instagram, because I wrote last night. I was sitting and I was really, I spend a lot of time alone and quiet. I get a lot of downloads during that time. And all I could think about, Tom, was we've got a real shadow over our culture right now, and it's filled with hate and division and judgment. And quite frankly, people hate each other right now and don't even know why they do. And until we are able to look within, take control and responsibility for ourselves, and act from our own inner space, we're blowing our culture up, and we got to be the change.
I'm going to come back to shadow over our culture in the final segment of the radio program, everybody. Angela Joseph's our guest, resetting, going to break, calling this one a cosmic beast with AJ, my sister from another Mista. Shadow over our culture. Can't wait to talk about this. Again, this is the Tom Matt Show. Boom. Plug time. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. I don't even have to freaking warm me up, nothing. It's just, I mean, fuck, 20 times. You don't have this shit down. And we are going to do something down the road. I've been looking at these. I told Sandy, I've been looking at these videos, and I always look at the production quality. It's like, okay, how are they doing this? And these people are really popular, and the production quality is not that. I mean, it's, you get all wrapped up in all of the fancy shit, and you don't need the fancy shit. We got a little thing created here upstairs now where I want to start doing the live streams, and it's like, we're going to do something, and we're going to have fun doing it. Guarantee it. I'm talking to the camera too. We're going to do this stuff, you guys, because I'm all about trying new shit. That's all there is to it. Let's go. Get fired up.
That's that Gemini energy.
Here you go. I need to know more about it. So I'll have you do
Yeah.
that. I'll have you do that chart for me, and we'll go have dinner, and you can tell me all about, and see what Sandy's see what she has to say about it, because she would know me better than anybody. That's for damn sure.
Isn't that true?
Here we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to our podcast radio show. Some of the stations that are carrying this fifth segment. Lucky you. For those who missed out, you're picking us up on the podcast, because usually the fifth segment has got the most pop of all the segments. I mean, it is what it is. We just build up this energy, and kaboom, we blow this thing up. Our guest today is Angela Joseph, phenomenal body worker, and you name it, she does it all. Calling this one a cosmic beast. This will not be our one journey into astrology. This is very much our high altitude. We've talked about this tiny bits here and there throughout Angela's time on the show. We're going to do more of these things. Angela, I did make a note about the asteroid belt show. I have that on these notes. So it's like, we'll be talking about this. This stuff is powerful. But before we go farther along this, down the rabbit hole of all of this and what's coming up with the shadow over our culture, remember, TomMattShow.com is how you get a hold of us. I want people to know how to get a hold of you. How do you want people to connect with you? Please go right ahead. Take your time, share all of that. Your speaking, your coaching, seminars you got going, please.
I would say the easiest thing to not spend a lot of time with is, please go to my website at www.angelaandjoseph.com. And you can also reach me on Instagram at The Intuitive Lifestyle, and Facebook, I'm at Angela Joseph, Angela and Joseph. And those are great ways to get in touch with me through any of those.
And you can always go to our website, go to the contact box if you want to get a message to Angela, or if you have my phone number, you can text me. I need to talk to Angela. She does have some availability, not a lot. She's super popular, and she's very sought after. She's extremely busy because she's good, and that's that. So that's why I love having her on the program. You get her for free on radio or video, however you're getting it. Her rates are very, very reasonable. And I have friends who are like long-term clients who will go nameless, Jason, and not say anything about Won't mention his last name, but he's always bragging on you. I'm telling you, that guy, and I know he's going to hear this episode because he hears all of them. So there you go, Jay. You got a shout out, bro. All right, back to shadow over our culture. I'm very intrigued to see what the astrological signs are showing about what are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you feeling?
Well, and that's the other thing I would say. I like to think, I'm a pretty open human, and I'm a very spiritual human. I'm not religious. But when you look at a birth chart or you look at a chart, Tom, it's almost like a mandala, and you can really start to just like meditate and let it come to you. When I talk about a shadow over our culture without astrology involved at all, it's very clear to me that we're being manipulated by media. We're being manipulated by groups that have profits and
Agenda.
agendas that they can profit from for us. I
Oh yeah.
think it's absolutely amazing that people don't understand that they're looking at their phones to decide what they're angry at or what they're happy about. There's no internal compass anymore. We're really beginning to fade that. And so I love when you and I talk, and we always talk about personal accountability and responsibility. Many people will think that I come off a little bit cocky or dry, but
Yeah.
it's honestly just, it's a fundamental truth for me, which has been a North Star for my life, that if I'm not in control of my life, somebody else is. And I'm not willing to do that. It's too high of an expense for me. So when you bring the astrology and you map over what I think is happening in our media world right now, where we're being, I mean, you don't know what's real or not anymore. I mean, we can all say this. There's times we're like going, what in the heck is real? What do I believe? What is this? Right? Why is that? And it seems like there's this undertone right now of divisive, angry tone when you're talking about anything right now in our world. Any media is all about who's right, who's wrong. And it's really incredibly sad when you can step back from it and see. So for me, that's a shadow. When you have a culture that's sitting in hate and division and blame and anger and frustration and ill health, right? We're not doing well. We're aiding to the mental health issue, we're aiding to the physical declining health issues. And what astrology shows with that is we have a planet called Neptune, which is out beyond what we can actually see with our physical eye in the sky. It's been in Pisces, and we're at the 29th degree, which is considered a critical degree. And it makes it very hard for people to see what's real and what's not. And we've got Saturn in the same house with Pisces. And so Saturn's coming in, and I would say over the next 6 months to a year, we're going to really have some reality checks and really see what is real and not. So when I talk about a shadow over our culture, we've really lost our way, and our internal dialogue at this point is no longer ours. And it's one thing I'm doing with clients constantly, is allowing them to tune into their own internal guide, right? What is it that feels right for them? What is it that they want to do? And most often what you'll find is they come back and go, oh my gosh, like I feel so free right now. I don't have any anger, I don't have any frustration. And so again, the shadow over our culture right now is all of the anger and the blame and the frustration and the manipulation happening in the media.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the whole thing is about finding balance and understanding that if you get your source of your information from one place, then you're going to get a very biased pile of information. And
I'm
I'm not,
going I'm going to say one thing there too. I'm going to add on that, Tom, is that over the next 5 years, what we're going to see is, and longer and further into that, but we have AI coming on board, and it's getting ready to come on steroids, right? An illegal amount of steroids like we have never seen. AI is coming in. We no longer know. We are not going to know without a doubt what is real and what is not if we are looking at a screen to find our information. So I would tell you that what we're coming into right now, and I'm really big on this, and I think this is going to become a big part of my work, is we're going to go back to that conversation about your internal compass and your intuition. And my favorite saying, which was over the Oracle of Delphi, know thyself. Because if you don't know yourself over this next decade, you are going to get lost in the sauce. of AI. That's what I say. It's a fundamental for me. That's why it's so important to take care of your physical body so that you can feel, so that you can maneuver, so that you can act. It's why it's so important to be reading good, powerful, empowering information. It's important to be around people who are supportive and loving and engaging in health promoting and happiness and just, like you said, the balance, so that as this world begins to kind of go a little flux here, we're good.
That's the thing. The world always goes into a flux. It
Yes.
just depends on how we deal with this. Again,
Yeah.
as we talked about earlier, we have to choose which steps, which things we're going to read, which news you're going to watch, how are you going to receive your information? Are you going to make your phone your decision maker for you?
Yeah.
Or are you going to have balance, and are you going to have discerning thought or multiple sources of information? That's the whole thing about being educated, reading books. Think about reading books. Reading books is proven. Angela, you know this. You're such a huge reader and you're a great writer. But reading books it's food for your brain. It's like miracle grow for your brain, reading books. And so what you need to do is stop reading so much bull crap on the phone and read something that's gone through the editorial process and been printed, and you know the author, and read their work. Find out how they did it. Angela, we're going to come up on close here in about 3.5 minutes. I want to give you plenty of time to do your wrap up and your takeaway. So I'm just going to throw it to you, and I'll give you the signal when we got to wrap this bad boy. But take it from there. You got about 3 minutes to go here. Go right ahead.
I'm even going to add on to what you just said as far as knowing who the author is. And even when you're reading or listening to a book on tape, still allow yourself to make your final decision about what is right for you and the way that action for yourself feels like integrity, right? Dignity,
Yep.
right? And that
Yep.
you are out here being the type of human that you want to see other humans be. Too many people right now are in groupthink. There is massive, massive just compartmentalization of certain beliefs right now. And in reality, our whole world, and I hope everybody hears me when I say this, everything that you are experiencing in your life today, your thoughts and reactions and feelings to it are all about the beliefs and thoughts you have adopted as truth. And every one of us humans is very unique in that way. It's the beauty of being a human. And being a human, we are a mind, we are a body, and we are a soul. And the soul is the essence and energy that is operating the body and keeping the brain going. And you have to master the body and the brain to be living in your absolute, what you want to call like your top, the height of your experience of you being here on earth right now, right? Because right now there is a massive assault against your mental and psychological faculties as well as your physical. And if I have to explain to you why that is, I would tell you really need to start doing more like start looking at what's happening with our food systems, our educational systems, everything. So saying that, the empowering piece of that is like all you need to do is take in good information, go to the gym or go for a walk, meditate, right? Sit and ask yourself how you feel today. Eat good food, drink clean water, and be grateful for all that it is that you have so that you can attract more of that good.
Always remember, before you can share love with others, you must love yourself first. That was Angela Joseph. And I love hearing her talk, but we got to wrap this bad boy because this is a 1 hour talk show. So thank you, Angela, for being with us for your 20th visit. Appreciate you and love you dearly. Sandy Matt, Craig Stiles, Brock Fletcher, Jamie White. We'll talk to everybody next weekend. Have a great week, everybody. Go out and ignite your life. Good day now. Lastly, I'd like to say thank you to our production team, Mitch Anderson, and of course, my personal assistant, Vanessa. Love you guys so much. Tom Mattis. Tom Mattis shows a production of Boomers Rock Media. We want to bring your story to life. Thank you so much for listening. We are out. Barely made it. Had to get you
Perfect.
close that thing. Awesome. Okay, so dinner soon.
Yes.
Where do you want to go?
My yard.
your yard, have us over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
do it. Let's do it. Let me know
Yeah,
when. And we're here. We're going to make a quick jump over to Wisconsin in a week or so, just for a few days. But
good.
we've been keeping those a lot shorter this summer,
Okay.
and it's been working out pretty well. So let me know, and we'll get it on
I
the
will.
camera. I got
I
to get.
will. We'll shoot for like late September or mid September. Just really getting.
Yeah,
We'll
just
really just enjoy it. A nice day out on the back, so we're not sweltering.
yeah, for sure. And we can do something over here as well because I bought a new grill and our back is in the shade in this time of day.
Great.
So it's actually kind of nice. So we can do that as well and have fun. But we need to come to your place and see it and check out the pad. So let's make
Yeah.
that happen.
Okay. Sounds great.
Okay. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you
Thank you
soon.
so much.
Pleasure. Well,
Bye.
bye now. See ya. Angela Joseph is the bomb. She is so great. The whole story of how I met Angela Joseph is kind of surreal. I was at the university years ago, and one of my colleagues in there said, "You need to meet Angela Joseph." And the short story is, I just cold called her one time, and it was like magic. And we met that night. Sandy and I never do this. I mean, never. And she doesn't either. And we met and we had, she didn't even eat, but we went over to one of our little small restaurants, local small restaurant, nothing fancy. And we were there for hours talking about just everything. And from there, the rest is history. It's been years now. And so Angela Joseph is somebody you need to get a hold of. Angela N. Joseph. Check her out on Facebook, Instagram. She's very, very active there. Until next time, everybody, I'm Papa Tom, and this has been the Tom Matt Show. And I appreciate all of you sticking around, subscribing, doing all those good things, and helping us. Please utilize our sponsors' services. We've got Craig at Ameriprise, we got Jamie White at White Law, and we've got, of course, pulling up the last one, Brock Fletcher. All of them awesome, awesome people. Thank you so much, everyone. Appreciate you. Peace out. We're out.